Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/audio.
The days are getting shorter, and you can feel it in the air. Yes, it's that time of year. Pumpkin is finally back at Dunkin'. It's the cozy you've been craving all summer long, now in your cup at Dunkin'. Pick up all of your pumpkin favorites, like the signature pumpkin spice iced latte, or a pumpkin iced coffee, and bakery items like pumpkin donuts and muffins. Sip into something comfortable to celebrate the start of cozy season. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. America runs on Dunkin'.
Suit up for summer with Frontier 500 meg fiber optic internet. With upload speeds up to 25 times faster than cable, you can post all the sunbathing selfies you want. For just $39.99 a month plus taxes and fees and only $10 per month Wi-Fi router service fee. Visit frontier.com/fiber for upload speed comparison and full offer details. Frontier, don't go it alone. Limited time offer. Max speeds or wired speeds. Wi-Fi speeds may vary. Activation, internet infrastructure surcharges, taxes, and other fees are subject to change. Frontier terms and conditions apply.
It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the Opperman Report. And listen, a lot of technical glitches tonight. I'm the first to admit it. Okay. I'll keep you guessing there, Big Earn. Welcome to the Opperman Report. I am your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. And this show is brought to you by emailrevealer.com. And that's where you can go to get an autographed copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. Also, all different kinds of services on there, asset searches, background checks. Locates. We can locate people. We can locate people's employment. We can find all kinds of information on them. We can find people cheating. You can give us their email address. We trace it back to online dating websites, catch them cheating online. Also, too, you can send us cell phones and computer hard drives and stuff like that. We'll recover deleted data off the phone. We'll create a report for you that you can use in court. Okay, emailrevealer.com. There you go. Oh, boy. Listen. Gotta make some apologies here. Okay. Oh my God. First, last Saturday, at the very last second, my guest disappeared on me. We had that guest we were supposed to be having about the grew up in a militia, and he was a Phineas priest, and was out there, robbing banks and killing Jews and all this kind of stuff. And the guy went to prison and stuff. I don't know if it was back in prison or what, but he was supposed to come on a show last Saturday. And the number didn't work, And I don't know if we had the wrong number, but he had our number and called us up. We still haven't been able to get a hold of this guy. So normally I got some notes handy, just in case that kind of a thing, we got a guest is a little boring. You got to cut the show. You got to cut the show short, And so I had enough notes to cover an hour, but I didn't have enough to cover 2 hours. So I had to, kind of just come up with some good stuff. Okay. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on American Freedom Radio, we will have Catherine McDonald, who is the wife of Dr. Jeff McDonald. Okay? And we had her on the show once before, but a little sabotage that night. The woman who was producing us said after an hour, says, "Oh, I can only do an hour." And I said, "Well, what the hell is this?" And she didn't even tell us until, and it was a big guest, a big topic. So we're going to have her on tomorrow for 2 hours. Then she has some people lined up for me. Cyril Wecht, who's testifying in this case. And then we have some friends and neighbors of Jeff McDonald's wife and kids. So we have them coming on. I got a guest coming next Saturday at 5 p.m. on American Freedom Radio, who was the lawyer who started Scores. And then he talks about how they came in, they started extorting money from him and stuff like that. He became an FBI informant. So we have that coming up. Then I have a guest coming up. I'll probably be taping with him, who has a satanic ritual abuse documentary filmmaker. And we got a ton of shows going up in the member section. I got about 6 about to go up there. Just taped one today. Taped one today. There's an interesting story. Emma Ibbotson from the UK, about the story about how she had her kids taken away from her in the corrupt system there in the Child Protective Services. A lot of stuff. And like I said, right after this tonight, we have on Porkins Policy, Pierce Redmond. He's interviewing me for 1 hour about Jeffrey Epstein and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. You get about 4 hours of this miserable voice rambling at you. Kind of interesting with that Pierce Redmond interview. If you listen carefully, I was really sick when I did that interview. I had like an acid reflux, heartburn kind of thing going on, and he wanted me to stay for another hour. I couldn't do it. I had to excuse myself and go and take some medicine, So, a couple of things this week came up that I found interesting. And one is, you see this commercial all the time. I don't even know what channel it is, like Discovery Channel or something like that. The Return of Mama June, who was Honey Boo Boo's. It's hard to even say these things, but there was a TV show first called Toddlers and Tiaras. And they had that show, was about the pageant stuff. Then this little girl comes on there, and she's overweight and comes from like a trailer park family named Honey Boo Boo. So she was such a splash on there. They gave them their own show. Here comes Honey Boo Boo. And it's such a disgrace, what they're doing with this family. That the mother of this family, this Mama June, comes out, had several relationships with convicted pedophiles, and was even bringing convicted pedophile, a guy named Mark McDaniel, back into the home. And they were shopping around for him. These guys are going to move back in. And that was like the last straw that the media could take. And Mama June and Honey Boo Boo and all these people lost their gigs. Okay, they lost their jobs. And they had to cancel the show because it was just so far over the line. Now, you'd think that this would be a disgrace, that they would want to keep this quiet. They would want to, let's distract them. Let's hold up a shiny object in our left hand and distract the American public away from us enabling this insanity with this Honey Boo Boo family. Right? But no. They bring this one back. They're running commercials every 15 minutes. Because I got to admit, okay, I've become addicted to Dr. Phil. I don't know if they have this everywhere in the country. But over here in Nevada, there's a channel, like the Dr. Phil channel. He's on like 8 times in a row. They play these repeats from years ago, and I've never seen them before. I call little clips of this nut Dr. Phil, who's not even a licensed doctor anymore. So, and this commercial comes on all the time by Mama June. And one of the things she says is, no more bad men. No more bad food. No more whatever, whatever. So, like, they're equating, like, her eating habits with allowing convicted sex offenders into her home. The father of one of her daughters served 2 years in prison for the sexual exploitation of a child over the internet in 2005. Then there's another guy, Michael Anthony Ford, 37 years old, who remains on a sex offender registry and is currently behind bars on separate charges of child abandonment. So this woman has several men in her life that have, harmed kids, and she's brought them back into the house. But even the other fathers, she's mixed up with this guy. There's one guy, David Michael Sugar Bear Thompson. He did 5 years in 1998 for robbing campsites and setting fire to campsites. And then his other character, David Dunn, who's one of the kids' fathers, did time in 95 for stealing a handgun, and again in 98 for stealing a carton of cigarettes. Okay? Hey. So one point I want to make is with these reality TV shows is that there's a lot of money and expense involved in putting on these shows. And they know the background of these people that they bring on the shows. They're aware of this kind of stuff. And they have producers and production assistants who get intimately involved with the people on these shows. And they know all the gossip going on around them. They know what's going on. And we're going to be getting into that too, because I've been telling you about how I had my suspicions about Subway knowing what went on with Jared Fogle. And there's a lawsuit. Okay, there was a lawsuit filed in October of 2016. Now, we didn't hear much about it because of all the election stuff. We had an orange lunatic getting elected president, so it wasn't in that much in the news. But Jared Fogle's ex-wife filed a lawsuit against Subway. I want to touch on one thing here before I move on, because I was talking about how I'm watching the Dr. Phil channel all the time. Dr. Phil is a real doctor, but he's not He's not licensed to practice psychology right now. And I think it's due to a complaint. So you can check it out. I was involved back when I was doing all my stuff, my TV stuff, with the other doctor, Dr. Drew. And I had an opportunity to do an episode of Dr. Phil. And I had backed out of it because things were going on were just so wacky that I wasn't going to get involved in it. Okay. That's Dr. Phil. Now, Honey Boo Boo. So I can't wait to see this new show, Mama June. And I don't know, we're supposed to overlook everything because she lost some weight? Is that the plan?
Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/audio.
Now we got this other guy here. Let me pull this up. I had all this stuff pulled up, but the computer crashed so many times. Milo Yiannopoulos. Now I don't even know who this guy is, but I guess about a year ago, people started coming to me and saying, Ed, you got to get Milo Yiannopoulos on your show. You got to interview him. I never heard of this guy. I still really don't know who he is, other than he's a right-wing Breitbart guy. And I guess his thing is he's a flamboyant homosexual right-winger. And that's supposed to be like edgy, you know, because right-wingers aren't supposed to be homosexuals. But if you look, you know, many of them are. You know, Lindsey Graham, I understand, is a very flamboyant homosexual behind the scenes. So this Milo Yiannopoulos gets canned from Breitbart this week because there's some very, very bizarre statements that he made. And one thing I want to point out to you is that his statements are being quoted all over the place, but people really aren't quoting the entirety of his statement. They're writing this off as some flippant, offhand remarks, but it's not. These are well thought out beliefs by someone. Basically, that adult men should be able to have sex with 13-year-old boys. And what he says here is, this is the one reason I hate the left. This is the one reason he hates the left, and all the other reasons he does. This is the one. This stupid one-size-fits-all policy of culture, this sort of arbitrary and oppressive idea of consent, which totally destroys, you know, the understanding that many of us have. The understanding that many of us have. The complexities and subtleties and complicated nature of many relationships. You know, people are messy and complex. In the homosexual world particularly. Some of those relationships between younger boys and older men, the sort of coming-of-age relationships, the relationships in which these older men had helped these boys to discover who they are and give them security and safety and provide them with love and a reliable and a sort of a rock where they can where they can't speak to their parents. So these homosexual men having sex with little boys is better than these little boys talking to their own parents. That's this man's theory. And then he throws in this comment. And you know what? I'm grateful for Father Michael. I wouldn't give nearly such good head if it wasn't for him. Now, I don't believe this man was actually molested by a priest, Father Michael. I think he's making a joke with that remark. But still, that's disgusting, and it's, you know. And then he goes on. He goes back to the topic later on. Okay? You're misunderstanding what pedophilia means. Pedophilia is not a sexual attraction to somebody 13 years old who is sexually mature. Pedophilia is an attraction to children who have not reached puberty. Pedophilia is attraction to people who don't have functioning sex organs yet, who have not gone through puberty, who are too young to be able to understand the way their bodies work. That's not what we're talking about. I think particularly in the gay world and outside the Catholic Church, if that's where some of you want to go with this, I think in the gay world, some of the most important and enriching and incredibly life-affirming, important shaping relationships very often between younger boys and older men, they can be hugely positive experiences. And I find this interesting. I find that interesting, one, that so many people are excusing this character, and that in response to this, instead of saying, "Oh, hey, you know, I think we should take a look at what this guy's been up to," you know, let's take a look at who he's in contact with, who he's visiting, you know. I think this is the guy has some bizarre beliefs here, to say the least. Possibly, potentially dangerous orientation here. So instead of saying, like so much of the right, "Oh my God, this guy's disgusting," right away they have to find someone on the left who they consider to be on the left and say, "Well, what about Who's that guy? The guy from Star Trek. Well, what about him? He said the same thing. Yeah, you're right. He said the same thing. He's equally as guilty. But he said that a long time ago. You gotta catch it when the guy says it. You can't just say, well, one of our guys is guilty. Well, one of your guys is guilty too. It makes us even. Which is the most bizarre theory. I can't wrap my head around that. How people think that way. If this Milo Yiannopoulos guy has an evil bent in his thinking and his behavior, it doesn't make it okay because this other guy, what's his name? Sulu from Star Trek, because he has an evil bent too in his thinking and his behavior. Because if Sulu were dead and never existed, then Yiannopoulos is still evil. Okay? You can't just say, well, Yiannopoulos is not evil because another guy's evil too. It's the same theory about when I talk about Trump and I say, hey, the guy's a con man. The guy's incompetent. The guy's destroying all of our freedoms. That people say, well, Ed, what about Schumer and Hillary? And what about Pelosi? What about them? What about them? I'm not talking about them. I talk about them too. But right now we have the other one who was in the president's seat who can't even fill the seats in the office. And by the way, too, I've been talking about this the past couple of weeks because it came to my attention from a guy that works across the street from the White House at the Executive Office Management Building that none of the positions are being filled. I found out since then that there are 600 positions that need to be filled, 600 positions that need to be confirmed by Congress. And Trump has only named 30 out of those 600. Now, once those 600 are filled, all of these people have staff that they need to hire. I'm telling you, and since I've been talking about this last week, it hasn't gotten any better. The situation has not gotten a bit better since I've started talking about this. Do you remember a few years ago, we started seeing these things on the internet, and I guess now it's kind of called fake news. But we started seeing these things. It was, I guess, in the last 7 or 8 years.
You're invited to a huge grand opening celebration of Once Upon a Child in Sarasota this Thursday, September 24th through Sunday, September 27th. On Thursday and Friday, the first 25 customers get a free tote and a $10 gift card just for stopping by. Saturday, enjoy our live entertainment from 2 to 5, and Sunday, get double reward points all day long. Once Upon a Child Sarasota's grand opening is this Thursday through Sunday. Visit onceuponachildsarasota.com for more information and check us out on Facebook.
Whether holding down the fort or bouncing back to school, childhood is always in session. So keep feeding us right with Sun-Made snacks, just like when you were a kid. Remember their naturally sweet raisins? Yup, still delicious. And so are Sun-Made's other snacks, like creamy yogurt-covered raisins, sour raisin snacks that taste like sour candy with no added sugar, and Sun-Made's new s'mores and birthday cake bites. All delicious, all made with whole fruit. Sun-Made snacks.
Where one of them was Bill Gates gave a graduation speech, and it was called "Rules Kids Won't Learn in School." And Bill Gates allegedly went before this school and rattled off all these things about how kids today, they got to learn this and learn that, and they're not learning it in school. Right? And after seeing this a couple of times, all you had to do was Google Bill Gates, rules kids won't learn in school, hoax. You Google that, you put the word hoax in there, right? Or fake, and you Google it, and articles come up, who had investigated this and found out that it's fake. It's made up. There was another one. This was an opinion piece by Bill Cosby, where he says, "I'm tired. I've worked till I'm 80 years old, and I've worked every day, and I'm tired of seeing the young men with their pants hanging down and people, and all this nonsense." You look that up, you find out it's not true. Then there was another one. This one really went over the line with Michael Richards. Remember Michael Richards, who was Kramer on Friends, and he had that incident where he was doing stand-up comedy, and some guys were heckling him, and he said the N-word, But the way he did it was he was trying to get a reaction and to explore racism and stuff like that, reactions and emotions and stuff, stereotypes. I had a guy complain on YouTube saying he doesn't like to hear me take a drink while I'm talking on the mic. Oh, I gotta listen to this guy take a drink. Why'd you do the show in the bathroom? He says. Okay, I'll go do the show in the bathroom. I'll do the show in a bar. How's that? And you really hear me drinking. But there was this one about how Michael Richards at his trial over this incident, that there was somehow a trial. And at this trial, at the closing arguments, he gave this speech about how he's proud to be white. And this is another one that was totally ridiculous. And people would post this stuff, and you just search a couple of lines, and then you put the word hoax in there, fake, and right away you come up that proves it's fake, right? And I got into the habit of, whenever someone would post this, I would post a link and say, well, that's not true. Bill Gates never said that. And here's, they investigated, here's the origins of this. He never said that. And you'll get two kind of responses back on this. One, initially they'll say, well, Snopes is run by left-wing liberal Democrats. It's a couple in their basement with cats and stuff like that. Well, Snopes. Well, but there's many places beyond Snopes that look into these things now. Hoax Slayer, Hoax Buster. There's a bunch of sites now that do this. So you can't just dismiss everything Snopes says. Okay? And many times there's many articles, even in they had one, Denzel Washington says he's supporting Trump. There's many of this fake nonsense that even the people who are quoted say, why, that's not me. So one reaction is they'll complain about your source that debunks this. But the other one is the one that's really dangerous. The other one is where people say, well, it doesn't really matter if Bill Gates said that, because the sentiment of what is said in the speech is correct, and I agree with it. Doesn't matter if Bill Cosby said that or not, because what it says in there is true. In the Bill Cosby one, it's not even true. Or that they went Michael Richards. It doesn't matter if there was no court hearing and it was the closing argument, and Michael Richards never said that, because I still believe in what he says. So it seems like it was a psyops was created about 10 years ago on the internet to make people allow propaganda and false information and this attitude like that, even though it's a lie, even though it's not true, it's okay that it's a lie because I still agree with it. It conforms with my opinions and my beliefs. So, and it justifies my opinions and my beliefs because a name like Bill Gates is attached to it, who's a big, very rich man, a man like Bill Cosby, who's a colored man, a Negro. And he doesn't like these young Negroes with their pants hanging down around their sagging shorts and his stuff. Oh, Michael Richards, said some racist remarks. Well, I say racist remarks too. And I'm proud to be white. It's not because I'm racist. I'm proud to be white. See, so people want to believe this stuff. And by the way, too, there's much more of this kind of nonsense goes on with the right wings. That half of the things that these people are upset about and complain about are not even real. It's not even true. But I believe that this has been manufactured to make us accepting of this idea that, well, even though it's a lie, and even though it's proven to me that it's a lie, I still accept the sentiment behind it. And this is a situation we have right now where we have a president of the United States of America who gets busted live in a press conference. He says he has 300 and whatever electoral college, right? And they proved him right there. Yeah, we just looked it up, Mr. President. That's not true. Oh, well, that's okay. Because this. I meant Republicans. Oh, well, I'm busy. I had a rough day. That now we overlook being lied to by the highest office in government. Okay? It's acceptable because we agree with this guy. We like this guy. He hates Mexicans. I hate Mexicans. Okay? He wants to make America great, and I want to make America great. He's into greed and selfish interests. So am I. This guy's into everything I'm into. So whatever he does, lies, cheats, steals to get to there, that's okay with me. And if the news media is going to tell me what he's doing is wrong, then they're the enemy of the country. And we're seeing some stuff here. I just got a long message today about some kind of internet freedom and stuff like that. So, and where Trump just made a new appointment in the FCC that's going to be taking away our internet freedoms more. Okay, I haven't checked into that, but that was something I was sent today. But what did happen today is that Spicer held a private press conference today. And they call it a gaggle. It's not the actual definition of a gaggle. I've been in a gaggle, okay, where you get in the back there and then you can yell out questions and stuff like that. This is different, where they kept out CNN, they kept out the Washington Post, I think they kept out the New York Times. This is historic. This is a historic aberration as far as the media covering the presidents of the United States. So this is something to be concerned about, folks. And it all just fits into this stuff about where Trump is saying that the press is the enemy, and it's all fake news. Anything that's reporting about what this guy is lying about and making up is fake news. And people are right now are in such a conditioned state that they're just willing to go along with that and say, well, you know what? If the news doesn't fit in with my beliefs and my agreement with this character, this big orange character here, that well, then I don't care if it's a lie or not. I don't care if he's lying to me because I'm still in favor of him. Let's take a commercial break here. Okay. And then we'll be right back after this. I'm going to get into the whole Jared Fogelman lawsuit. I got all the court docs in the lawsuit here. And that's going to be going up in the Opperman Report member section too. It was just filed in October, so it hasn't been publicized very much at all. And now a word from our sponsors. Did you know that 30% of all
Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities.
People on online dating websites and personal ads are either married or in a monogamous relationship. 30%. If you suspect that your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend may be cheating online, go to emailrevealer.com. Our online infidelity investigation. You give us their email address, and we can trace it back to online personal ads, dating sites, and social networks. We can even expand the investigation and find them cheating on escort service sites or even porn sites if they're registered to porn sites and swinger sites. So check out emailrevealer.com if you suspect your spouse is cheating, and check out our online infidelity investigation. William Ramsey is a producer here at the Opperman Report, and he's just come out with a new book, Children of the Beast, Aleister Crowley's Shadow Over Humanity. Now, he just sent me a copy of this book. Oh, boy, it's about 2 inches thick, and there's a chapter on just about everybody in this book that you can imagine. The Beatles, and Jack Parsons, everybody's in here. It's incredible. And I definitely recommend this book. There's a bunch of pictures in here, too, of all these people and different chapters and information. Anselm LaVey and people I've never heard of, too. There's a whole bunch in here. JFC Fuller. I don't know who he is. But it's great stuff by our producer here, William Ramsey. So check out Children of the Beast, Aleister Crowley's Shadow Over Humanity. You can find it on Amazon.com, or you could find it in the OppermanReport.com bookstore. We have an urgent bulletin. It seems that the group Strawman is still on the loose. It has been confirmed that Strawman are Canadian, okay, and that authorities are asking people to stay indoors, lock your doors and windows until this group can be dealt with. You could find more information about this group of Canadians, at strawmanmusic.com. You can have your ad played here. Okay, we're looking for sponsors. Okay, in fact, we desperately need sponsors right now to take this show to the next level. So you can have your ad played here, read live, like I'm doing now, so artfully. Or we can even work up a little jingle for you with some music and stuff like that and play it here. You have no idea how inexpensive it would be to have your ad played on the Opperman Report on 7 stations. Live Friday night, and another 7 stations live on Saturday night, plus replayed every day of the week on different stations, and then archived on YouTube, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and all different kinds of podcasts, Pod This and Podbean, all different kinds of places who archive the show for us. And on those archives, your ad would play indefinitely, forever. You also get a little banner on OppermanReport.com. You get a mention on the air. You get a little interview on the air, and all kinds of fun stuff if you sponsor Opperman Report. We have an opportunity to get this show on a major AM/FM station in California. We've been approved. So if you want to sponsor us into that, so incredibly inexpensive that your ad would be heard by a the range covers 5 million people in population where your ad would be broadcast, and all these other stations would be thrown in for free. So really affordable prices to sponsor OppermanReport.com. Get a copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. You can get a copy of that book at emailrevealer.com, or you can get a copy of that book now. It's back up on Amazon.com. How to Become a Successful Private Investigator by Ed Opperman. And this book has been updated a little bit from the previous book that we had that was available to our wonderful listeners. Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. And this portion of the show is brought to you by Subash Technosis. Hey, don't forget Subash Technosis LLC on Facebook. And if you need any kind of website design, search engine optimization, press releases, data entry, any kind of service.
You're invited to a huge grand opening celebration of Once Upon a Child in Sarasota this Thursday, September 24th through Sunday, September 27th. On Thursday and Friday, the first 25 customers get a free tote and a $10 gift card just for stopping by. Saturday, enjoy our live entertainment from 2 to 5, and Sunday, get double reward points all day long. Once Upon a Child Sarasota's grand opening is this Thursday through Sunday. Visit onceuponachildsarasota.com for more information and check us out on Facebook. You're invited to a huge grand opening celebration of Once Upon a Child in Sarasota this Thursday, September 24th through Sunday, September 27th. On Thursday and Friday, the first 25 customers get a free tote and a $10 gift card just for stopping by. Saturday, enjoy our live entertainment from 2 to 5, and Sunday, get double reward points all day long. Once Upon a Child Sarasota's grand opening is this Thursday through Sunday. Visit onceuponachildsarasota.com for more information and check us out on Facebook.
You need there to save your company some money there, SubashTechnosis.com. When you contact Subash, tell them Ed Opperman sent you. Get yourself a good deal. We actually have a new sponsor coming up. I wanted her to come on tonight. And it's this woman, Phoebe Saad, who has she's a chocolatier. And I'm working on a little jingle that I'm going to sing in her commercial. Okay, so that ought to be fun. So, and we're going to be rolling out her commercials in March. So if you want to advertise on the show, it's a good time. Get a hold of me here. And also, too, that comedian guy who contacted me about advertising, I can update. You know, if you have new gigs every week, I can change the ad for you. Okay. Back to the notes. It's all about the notes, folks. So Jared Fogle, the Subway guy. Interesting story with this guy here. Because after he got busted, I'm saying, hey, wait a minute. You know, because the guy who ran his foundation, he gets busted too for child porn, you know. I'm saying, something's hinky here, man. There's something here that's not right. You know? And then you started reading these articles about these women that came forward. One of them was taping them for the FBI. But the first one said a lawsuit was just filed in October of 2016. And who files this lawsuit against Subway? Jared Fogle's ex-wife is the one who files this lawsuit. Now, you know, I'm trying to figure out how she's a victim in this. It's interesting. Okay? Interesting legal theory here. How this woman is a victim. On page 4, paragraph 29, it starts off. Subway, and by the way, this is said in the court documents, so I can repeat these court documents. Because I've been looking into this for a while, guys. Okay? I've been looking into this stuff for a while, and I've been trying to get a guest to come on the show, and I've been people telling me things. I'm saying, oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Can you come on the show? Well, no, we can't come on the show because it's, you know, pending possible litigation. I think it's more than this, by the way. Subway knew of Jared's depravities and failed to act as a responsible corporation should. You know that Subway is bigger than McDonald's right now? Do you know that? If anybody out there goes out and buys Subway sandwiches, before you take a bite, I want you to hear some of this stuff. When you take a bite into that delicious sandwich, on at least 3 occasions during Jared's tenure with Subway, this is paragraph 29, Subway received reports regarding Jared's sexual interest in and activity with children. Now, I want you to know, when you put something, I'm involved in I'm a paralegal. I'm involved in compiling evidence that goes into these kind of motions and complaints. Jared, how's it going? Getting any lately? You know, right? The third one, they don't even do that. In 2004, Subway's then senior vice president of marketing received a complaint that Jared had approached a young girl at a promotional event for a Las Vegas Subway franchise for a sex act. Now, driven by sales rather than the safety of kids, Subway sent its then senior public relations manager to ask Jared and the franchise owner rather than the victim about the incident. Now, there's one thing I want to divert here for a second. Here in Vegas, we have a lot of conventions. There's a lot of trade shows and stuff like that. And professional modeling companies will not hire girls under 18 years old. Women under 18 years old, models under 18 years old. They got to be at least 18. Many of them won't go under 21. Especially if there's alcohol involved and stuff like that. But there's this little leeway kind of category where stuff goes on that's very disturbing to me. And that is if a young girl is not a model, but if she's a singer or an entertainer or usually singer, you know. Well, then, she's there. And they get like 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls doing this kind of stuff, okay, which is ripe for abuse, guys, okay? And anybody who's a parent. You know who I was friends with back in Staten Island? Little Susie. Remember Little Susie? Take me in your arms. Da-da-da-da, only in my dreams. little Susie came to my beeper company. She's buy beepers from me, and her father and mother met all of them. And she was a little kid, you know, and you can kind of see things going on around there that don't look very good. Okay. So they never talked to the kid. They never talked to the victim or the victim's mother, the victim's father. They went to the franchise owner. They went to Jared. Now, this is in 2004. Now, just think, 2004. Now, let's put ourselves in Jared's shoes. Okay, I'm a defense investigator. So very often when I look at these things, I look at this from the perspective of the defendant in the case. Now, I'm thinking like the defendant in this case, and I'm I'm at this franchise event, and I make this approach to try and molest a little kid at this franchise event. And now my bosses at Subway that I have a big, giant contract with know about it. They know about what happened. Okay, now maybe I can come on fast talk or I come up with a story or whatever, but they're on to me. This is a guy with a focus on this. This guy's a lot of his life and his focus and his attention in life is on having sex with little kids. Because what do you hear next? He's talking to strangers about this. But you'd think if they're my boss is this big $1 billion company, and I'm in with them, and I got limos taking me around, and my own bus with the trailer, you know, with the makeup and hair, and all the people running around doing things for me. I'm going to lose that gig because they're on to me. In 2008, 4 years later, a Florida Subway's franchisee, Cindy Mills, notified Jeff Moody, the CEO at the time, via a phone call that Jared had made disturbing comments about children. Mills told Moody that Jared told her he really liked them young. Mills told Moody that Jared had sex with minors from age 9 to 16. Now, why isn't Mills going to the police? I don't know. Why isn't Moody going to the police? I don't know. Mills told Moody that Jared suggested Mills prostitute herself. Now, in response to Mills' report, Moody interrupts Mills and states, "Please don't tell me anymore. Don't worry. He's met someone. She's a teacher. And he seems to love her very much. And so other people, you know, Moody says other people have this belief. We think this will keep him grounded." So according to Mills, Moody said other people in the company knew about this. They were aware about this. Don't tell me anymore. Okay. The teacher in question, to whom Moody referred to, is the plaintiff, Katie McLaughlin, who is Jared's ex-wife, who is the plaintiff in this lawsuit. Mills also said Moody indicated he had dealt with similar complaints in the past. Mills relayed the same information to her regional Subway franchise office. Mills relayed the same information to 2 other Subway executives at a NASCAR event. So Mills is telling anybody who's going to listen, except the cops. Just like its response in 2004 complaint, Subway said its senior public relations manager to ask Jared about the complaint. "Hey, Jared, what about this time? What do you have to say now?" You'd think in 2008, after getting busted in 2004, that Jared would tap the brakes on all this. But what else would you do in a situation like that? Now, word's out. Okay, several people at Subway know. There's no secret there, right? According to Mills, there's no secret over at Subway what's going on. Now, you're Jared. Think you're Jared now, right? And we may lose everything. I may lose my big house. I may lose my job with Subway. They're on to me twice. Plenty of people at Subway know what's going on. Who are you going to seek advice from? Who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to confide in? Would it be the person that you share property with? The person you share a home with? The person you share a bed with? The person that you live with? Those kind of people? Who are the people you trust most in life that you confide your secrets in?
Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities.
Now, in this document, what's this woman's name? McLaughlin? Yeah, Katie McLaughlin, right? They complain. Katie McLaughlin's attorneys complain that that Subway never informed her about what was going on. Having neither expert knowledge of pedophiles' predatory compulsions nor seeking guidance from experts, Subway made a terribly misguided assumption that Jared's... Subway did not and never did inform Katie about Mills' reports or Moody's intention for Katie to keep Jared grounded. Okay, that's what Katie's saying. That Subway never told her, that no one ever told her. Now, FBI raided Jared's home in 2015. There's many more years. And they got engaged in 2009. They got married in 2010. In 2011, okay, a Florida journalist, Rochelle Herman Walrond, made a complaint through Subway's website that she had serious concerns about Jared being around children. Subway admitted that complaint was not properly escalated or acted upon. Herman Walrond has publicly indicated Jared made comments to her about her desire to perform illegal acts with children, and Jared asked for her help in getting him access to children. This woman actually worked with the FBI to record Jared's statements over the phone. Now stop and think. Subway's position in this is that, well, he's grounded now because he's married to this teacher in 2011. In 2009 and 2010, but in 2011, he's talking to this journalist. So they have information after supposedly their wish that he's grounded, that he's still doing this, and in fact he's escalating. Now,
suit up for summer with Frontier 500 meg fiber optic internet. With upload speeds up to 25 times faster than cable, you can post all the sunbathing selfies you want for just $39.99 a month plus taxes and fees, and only $10 per month Wi-Fi router service fee. Visit frontier.com/fiber for upload speed comparison and full offer details. Frontier, don't go it alone. Limited time offer. Max speeds or wired speeds. Wi-Fi speeds may vary. Activation, internet infrastructure surcharges, taxes, and other fees are subject to change. Frontier terms and conditions apply. Suit up for summer with Frontier 500 meg fiber optic internet. With upload speeds up to 25 times faster than cable, you can post all the sunbathing selfies you want for just $39.99 a month plus taxes and fees, and only $10 per month Wi-Fi router service fee. Visit frontier.com/fiber for upload speed comparison and full offer details. Frontier, don't go it alone. Limited time offer. Max speeds or wired speeds. Wi-Fi speeds may vary. Activation, internet infrastructure surcharges, taxes, and other fees are subject to change. Frontier terms and conditions apply.
what people overlook in this thing too is Fogle's foundation. And Subway promotes the Jared Foundation, right? He announced this in 2008, the formation of, oh, by the way, too. Oh, I forgot about all this, man. While knowing about this, they launched a program where he was visiting schools. Okay? Well, this is going on. Subway does. But in 2008, Jared announced the formation of the Jared Foundation, a nonprofit corporation created to raise awareness of and combat childhood obesity. And Subway immersed itself with Jared Foundation. Subway promoted the foundation, provided a link to the foundation on their website, and provided the foundation with free marketing opportunities at Subway national conventions, and Subway controlled the foundation's public messaging. So the foundation and Subway are linked. Russell Taylor was the head of the Jared Foundation. Russell Taylor attended numerous Subway corporate events. Russell Taylor was arrested in 2015 and subsequently sentenced to 27 years in prison for secretly recording children who were nude or in sexually explicit acts in his home. And Russell Taylor shared those images with Jared. On the day Jared was arrested, Subway scrubbed its website of any link or reference to the Jared Foundation. Oh, boy. Goes on to talk about how they have information he raped 8 little girls, and they actually paid for raping 2 other little girls. And now he's in prison. There's one other thing here I'd like to get into is with Pizzagate. And there's a video that was taken in Pizzagate where these performance artists are talking about Jared Fogle having visited their location there. And people in the audience yell out, well, he likes little boys. And then the performance artist says, well, that's a preference, and he has his own preferences. Everyone has a preference. So now that's, if you notice, that's not mentioned here in this lawsuit. That his name came up, that other people, and this was, if they knew about this had to be widely known. It had to be known beyond these obscure franchise owners and these media people. This guy was talking to just about anybody. A woman who, in the media who interviews people, he's telling her, I want to get access to little kids. This isn't a topic you just bring up with a stranger. But this guy's talking about it to anybody who listens. He's approaching a little kid in a Las Vegas franchise promotional event. Now, Subway has not responded to this lawsuit. And what can their response be? They can say, well, we didn't know. Well, there's 3 witnesses that say you did know. All right? The online report that has to be available, you got these witnesses. One worked with the FBI, and said she told Subway. She was recording the guy. I don't think Subway can deny that they knew about this. But it would appear to me that what could be their defense is that, well, Katie had to have known too. You follow? Okay. And when he was doing this tour of schools, he was doing a tour of middle schools about his pants. It was called a pants tour, where he was bringing his big giant pants when he's a big fat guy, and he's bringing them to schools to show people how, his pants are off. And let's not forget, too, but the way that Jared originally, I don't understand why this isn't in here because you'd think it would be, but the way that Jared originally became involved with Subway is because he lived in a building. They were building a Subway franchise down in his bottom floor there, and he went on that stupid diet, right? But at the time, he was renting out pornographic videotapes. That was the guy was in the pornographic video business. So, if you look at this lawsuit, in my opinion, Subway has an uphill battle here, and I predict this will be one of these cases that are quietly settled out of court. Oh, by the way, too, we just had one that was settled out of court too. The Webster Tarpley Insurance Company settled his lawsuit that Melania Trump was suing him when he wrote an article about her being a prostitute. Which I tell you, we'll be talking about that someday. So, okay. Okay. Yeah, Majestic Ape, yeah. What do you think of the woman who trapped him? What do I think of the woman who trapped him? I got no problem with that. I'm curious why he would think that this woman would be open to that kind of discussion. People don't come to me talking about that kind of thing. Not that kind of thing. People come to me about other kind of crimes. But people don't come to me talking about, raping little kids or raping women and stuff like that. So it seems to be a topic that comes up with people. There's an in there. There's an opening to have that kind of conversation. Okay, ladies and gents, thank you so much. I really apologize for all the problems we've been having lately, technically, and booking guests and all that kind of stuff. It's really it's a drain here. Tomorrow we got Catherine McDonald. I really like her a lot, and there is definitely a contingent of angry trolls that follow her around. So we got that. Then next week we have that big show with the scores. I'm looking forward to that because that's always good to hear. Oh boy, coming up after this is Pierce Redmond, Porkins Policy. I'm going to play it on Spreaker if you want to hear it because I'm interviewed there for the first hour. We get into some good stuff about Dershowitz. And this guy Cernovich, who's acting as a proxy for Dershowitz to unseal Virginia Roberts' motion for a summary judgment on the defamation case against... I think it's her case against Ghislaine Maxwell. So there's something in there that Dershowitz wants unsealed, and that he thinks is going to benefit him. I can't imagine what it is. Or maybe it's something. Maybe Trump has mentioned in there. Who knows? And maybe that's Dershowitz's motive in that. We can't figure it out, and we can't figure out too why Dershowitz would use this guy Cernovich, who's such a character who pretty much endorses and condones rape against adult women. Yes, remarkably, if you look up his comments online, it's just beyond belief. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll play the Porkins Policy Show here on Spreaker. And, of course, you can find it on all the other networks that I produce for him. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Good night.
Suit up for summer with Frontier 500 meg fiber optic internet. With upload speeds up to 25 times faster than cable, you can post all the sunbathing selfies you want. For just $39.99 a month plus taxes and fees and only $10 per month Wi-Fi router service fee. Visit frontier.com/fiber for upload speed comparison and full offer details. Frontier, don't go it alone. Limited time offer. Max speeds or wired speeds. Wi-Fi speeds may vary. Activation, internet infrastructure surcharges, taxes, and other fees are subject to change. Frontier terms and conditions apply.
You're invited to a huge grand opening celebration of Once Upon a Child in Sarasota this Thursday, September 24th through Sunday, September 27th. On Thursday and Friday, the first 25 customers get a free tote and a $10 gift card just for stopping by. Saturday, enjoy our live entertainment from 2 to 5, and Sunday, get double reward points all day long. Once Upon a Child Sarasota's grand opening is this Thursday through Sunday. Visit onceuponachildsarasota.com for more information and check us out on Facebook.
Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities. Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities. Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities. Fentanyl. It could be hiding anywhere, including in your house, including in your medicine cabinet, or maybe at a friend's house when you're hanging out, playing games, and get offered a pill. Don't take chances. If a drug didn't come from a pharmacy directly to you, you can find fentanyl using a simple strip you can pick up at your local pharmacy. Don't take it until you test it, because fentanyl can be hiding anywhere. Brought to you by the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Disabilities.